Go ahead.
Hi, welcome to Prince Street Cafe with Thinking Out Loud. This is Karen Warner and Mama Amy, B-Man, and Jay. How are you doing, Karen?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I heard there's some special announcements.
Well, yeah, there's a couple things to talk about. You already knew this one because you shared it.
Yes.
We do have a kids menu now,
Yes.
Which has certainly been a long time coming.
Right.
But it really wasn't a big deal when everything was cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It wasn't a big deal. Now stuff's expensive.
Exactly.
So
Have you had a good?
people are pretty happy about it.
Yeah, they're pretty happy about it.
So
Yeah.
only 12 and under?
Well, yes. But that leads me to where is it? Talk about in the menu. Do you have it? Oh, you have it. We have a Life Bites menu now
Nice.
for people that aren't as hungry.
Nice.
Yeah. So, we had people adults trying to order off the kids menu, and you get that, but we really don't make what we should make on that because it's a kids menu, and they're coming in presumably with an adult or two,
Right, and to bowl or
right,
not just to
right.
eat.
Right.
So that was important to us, but it was also important to us to come up with this for people that have a lighter appetite.
Light bites. Maybe we can get a copy of this and we can put it on our.
Yeah, totally. We can get you the kids menu and the.
So
light-
there's-
I already put the kids menu on thinking.
Okay.
Well, we can put it on again. So there's a breakfast light bite and a lunch light bite, which is pretty nice because I know that I'm not always real hungry either. So.
Right, for sure. So it's just a nice option, and we have a lot of folks in that, and not just older folks, but a lot of folks that, for whatever reason, don't have the appetite to eat a big thing, and maybe some stuff doesn't reheat particularly well. I mean, maybe if you have an air fryer. Or
Can
whatever,
I see that?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was just a nice new. This one's quite new. We've probably only had it out for a week or so, and I'm not even sure I posted it on Facebook yet.
Nice.
I can't remember, but
I know summer is coming. Are you gonna have the snack wagon?
no.
No.
We got rid of that quite a way. It's just too much, When you don't have help and you have to run it, but you're here, that's problematic, So, do you guys know what you want?
Do you know what you want, Brennan?
No, not yet.
No. Do you want to look at the
Want to look at the menu?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we got rid of the food truck. It's kind of a bummer, but it was just increasingly harder to get people to run it, and
What?
only be in so many places at once, and people would go and they're disappointed that you're not there, but you can't be everywhere. So
Right.
some had to go.
What's the most popular lunch thing on here?
Lunch. Burgers. We sell a lot of burgers.
Yeah.
Ham patty.
Yeah.
Typically, Tina.
Ham
All the
patty.
burgers. Yeah. So
Nice.
they're very good. That's probably the biggest thing, and then we do a lot off the special board, of course. Norm comes up with some pretty cool stuff.
Yep.
Chicken tenders always sell a ton. Probably more on the bowling side, but even in the dining room, it's pretty popular. Right?
Yeah. What's the difference between bowling food and dining room food?
Well, what's different really is it's just the time. This menu is good from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then we have a pub menu, and we have another menu. A pub menu that's 2 p.m. to closing. That includes the pizza and chicken tenders and burgers. A lot of the same stuff, but not everything. So it's really just about the time, and that's why we have two special boards. That's the 7 to 2, and that's 2 to close over there. It can be confusing sometimes with all the different menus, but the only real difference aside from the different menu is we don't have table service at night. We don't have wait staff at night. You have to go to the counter and order, kind of like Village or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for everybody that doesn't know or can't see right now, that there is two menus, two special boards that are very nicely put up and very easy to read. So
Yes,
they're
Leanne does those. She's got pretty nice handwriting.
Leanne, everyone.
Right. Yeah, not necessary.
I do know what I would like the crispy chicken sandwich with crispy chicken salad with no tomato.
What kind of dressing?
Honey mustard.
Okay.
What would you like, B? Do you know? Do you want chicken tenders?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Chicken tenders and any dipping sauce?
Can
Sweet
I
and sour?
can I have ranch, please?
You can.
What's up for you, Jay?
I think I want chicken tenders too.
Okay.
Does it come with fries?
They do. And what kind of dipping sauce do you want?
Can I have ranch and buffalo?
Ranch and you want buffalo
Yeah.
on the side?
Yeah.
Okay.
And can I have curly fries?
Curly fries instead?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
How did you do it, Dr. Pepper? Please. We have Dr. Pepper back.
Dr.
Do you want a
Pepper.
drink?
Yes.
What would you like?
Can I have Dr. Pepper, please?
Sure.
We were out for a while because Pepsi is switching from a 3-gallon bag-and-box to a 5-gallon bag-and-box, and they ran out of 3 gallons before they got in the 5-gallon. So we
Oh,
went
no.
quite a while, like
Oh no!
a few weeks.
And it's really become a more popular soda
Wicked
again.
popular. We just started carrying it. I don't know, probably within the last year. It's super popular.
Yeah.
And what made you think of having a diner inside of a bowling alley?
Well, I guess the first thing that made us think about it was the first cook that we had was up here seasonally, and she had had a restaurant in town before, and she kind of approached us about it, and we thought, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, charity?
Charity, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So we did that for the first, I don't know, 2 or 3 years or something like that, and yeah, and it was well received. So
What's more popular, the bowling alley or the restaurant side?
well, from 7 to 2, definitely the restaurant. Although it's pretty rare actually that we have no bowling going on during the day. Usually there's a lane or two, or sometimes more. If there's no school, it's going to be pretty busy.
Yeah.
Or we get a lot of school groups in too. They come in for a PE segment. They come in for 6 weeks, and we'll teach kids a little something each time. Or we do so. But breakfast, lunch, busier in the cafe. Afternoon, evening, bowling alley.
Do you ever have a bowling diner package?
See, we're here, Dr.
Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper. Yeah, we've actually thought before, like we should do like on holidays. You eat there and you can bowl, but people do eat out there, and sometimes they bowl, so it can be comboed pretty easily.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, so summer's coming up. I know there was Kids Bowl free last summer. Is that a program that you're still
It
doing
is a
this
thing,
year?
and it actually started in April, right
Oh,
before
wow.
April vacation.
Oh,
So
wow.
kids were able to bowl 2 free games every day from the middle of April to Labor Day. Well, the day before Labor Day. We're not open on Labor Day.
And how does that get funded?
So it's actually a program. We actually pay to participate in Kids Bowl free, believe it or not. But it's a national program.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Plan B on the soda for Dr. Pepper's not working.
Oh, I'll do a diet.
Diet?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Let's guess.
Yeah.
Lucky guess.
He's a good root beer guy.
Yeah, I like some root beer myself.
Yeah.
Remind me what we were talking about.
Summer program.
Kids Bowl free. Yeah, so it is a national program, and basically we get money from the shoe rentals unless they buy shoes. Some people, we've got a lot of like homeschoolers that they come in and they, it's kind of part of their school in here in the beginning, and they'll typically buy shoes, so they're not having to put out $3 every time they come in. I mean, if they come in a lot, it can add up.
Right. Yeah.
And there is a family package. I think it's only like $40 or $50, and you can add. I don't know if it's 4 or what the limit is, but other people. So if you had a child, you could put you guys on it, and you could all come in and bowl 2 free games a day. I mean, it's a really, if you come in a couple of times, it's paid for itself easily.
Nice.
And we do get some of that money. They send us some of that money.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you hope that you get a little food business, or maybe a kid really likes it and joins the youth program, or maybe they join my high school program, which actually happened before.
Good.
A couple years ago, I had a kid on the team who started coming in with Kids Bowl free. So it's about growing the love of the sport, you know, whatever you have to do. I mean,
She's on.
if it was really like totally not worthwhile, it might be harder to do. But I, it's fine. Not like people have to come in order, but a lot of times people get something to eat or something to drink or whatever, or they have a meal maybe before or after. Whatever it is, it's worth it to us to grow the love of the sport because it comes back in ways that you don't even know. You know.
I heard there is a secret you were gonna share with our viewers.
I think that may have been the light bites menu.
The light.
Because when we first talked about it, I was just kind of putting that together.
Yeah.
But I do have one other thing that I found out today. We did get nominated again in the 7 Days These Awards for Best Bowling Alley.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
so that's
awesome.
cool.
And what does that entail?
So, I mean, it's put on by a 7 Days newspaper.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm sure at the end of the day they want to sell advertising or whatever, but it's just a thing that they put out to their readership to nominate businesses. And they used to just be Chittenden County, but now they have inside Chittenden County and outside of Chittenden County for divisions. So yeah, it's just a neat thing. I don't have to win per se. It's just cool to be nominated.
Nice.
Yeah. And I know Mark was in here earlier from the Randolph Vibe and taking our picture because he does a blog post with like everybody.
Yeah.
And he said this year they have it set so it's like direct links from it. So you don't have to go to the 7 Days website and like search like all the Randolph businesses. You can go right from a link and vote. So that's kind of neat.
I
So
noticed
we'll share
that. I noticed that because Wendy Lane had gotten nominated
Yeah.
as well. So I was like, I noticed that the links were all just really easy to get to.
Right, which is cool because people don't have a lot of time, like, oh, I'd love to vote for you, but if you got to jump through a bunch of hoops,
Yeah, if it's
that's
like
gonna
6
cut
steps,
down,
it's gonna yeah.
Right. Somebody maybe doesn't have time for 6 steps,
Right, exactly.
So that's pretty cool.
Brendan, you had a question?
Yeah, how much are the leagues?
How much are they to bowl in a league?
Yeah.
They probably vary from like $14 or $15 up to maybe $16 or $17, and the difference there is the amount of money going into a prize fund. So the
Yeah.
more expensive leagues, they're just putting a lot more into their prize fund. So at the end of the year, there's more prize money to hand out.
Yeah.
But that's about somewhere between $14 and $17 typically. I would say on average, $15 or $16 probably average.
Say it costs $15. How much of that $15 go in the prize fund?
Well, I don't remember exactly what the lineage is with the use of the lanes. I think it's like 14 or $15. So if it's a $14 or $15 league, some of them don't have prize fund. Some of them don't care. They're just here to have fun. The Monday morning league, they don't do a prize fund. They just want to have fun, and that traditionally has been seniors, more ladies, but we have more men and younger people. I bowled in the Monday league because I bowled with Tina, so it's all kinds of different people, but they don't care about money at the end. But pretty much all the other ones do have cash prizes at the end. I know Thursday night, I don't remember what we got, but every team gets money back, which is kind of cool. Some don't do that. Maybe they only pay the top 3, but we pay out every team because everybody should get something back.
Nice.
Obviously, it's more for first place and down to 10th or whatever if you have 10 teams. But it's just nice to have a league where everybody gets a little money back.
Nice.
Yeah. Fun.
Do you have any questions?
I was going to ask Brendan if he had any more questions. You think of any? You were thinking of some earlier.
Was there a Special Olympics bowling this year?
Yes, sir. We'll have Special Olympics bowling. We usually start shortly after winter games or fall games, really. Usually somewhere in the middle of October or something like that.
Yeah.
And we usually go through I don't know, February. It's a long season because it's everybody's favorite. Typically, everybody
Yeah.
wants to bowl. Not everybody wants to do softball or basketball, but everybody wants to bowl. So we
Yeah.
try to do it a good long time. I mean, it's nice just for them to have something to do and come together once a week. And I think it's pretty important, you know.
I think so too.
And the other question, it's not necessarily with the food or anything, but are you doing special mix anymore?
Yes, so I'm still the program coordinator. Well, Angela and I are co-coordinators still, which is nice. But you know, I don't coach everything anymore. I mean, I did enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I love running up and down the court and coaching basketball. But we have like real basketball coaches and softball coach, which is really cool to have other people really kind of take that lead. I'm hoping to make a board that can meet and then people can handle different things. Like one person can be in charge of which athletes is their physical running now, and we need new ones, and you got to get them to this one and this one and this one. You know, because there's a lot of different hats. You know, fundraising is a huge one. Although we've been so blessed, Jesse did those softball tournaments for us, and you know, we have probably been fine in the budget department for I don't know, 5 or 6 years, and
That's
probably
awesome.
will be fine for another 5 or 6 years. We don't spend a ton of money, but it's still expensive. We have to rent the gym. We have to pay for the bowling. We have to, you know, get uniforms, and but that was the biggest headache for me was how am I going to pay for all this? Because Special Olympics does not charge. Athletes cannot be charged to participate, which I am 100% on board with. But it means I have to have the money to pay for and bowling. I probably
Can the families donate?
they can. What you can do is say this is what it costs weekly. If you want to donate any part of that, you're welcome to, but you can't require it, which I think is wicked important. And I have heard of other places trying to charge, and I get it. I really get it because it can be a real headache raising the money, but you just can't. I mean, it's just not cool. So, uh, but we've been pretty lucky. That's taken a huge piece off my plate and allows me to be able to do it without so much stress. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that I read the other day that you were doing karaoke.
Yep.
Is that like a regular thing, or is it a once
Third
in a
Friday
while?
of the month. Every
Third
third
Friday
Friday of the month is
Okay.
karaoke.
What time?
7 to 11.
Half time I'm in bed by 7 o'clock.
Okay, well, the third Friday of the month, you'll have to stay up later.
I love your karaoke
It's a
song.
good time. It's a really good time. Sometimes we might have 5 or 6 singers, and sometimes we might have 10 or 12 or 15 singers. It just depends, you know.
Yeah.
But you can come in, Linda.
Okay.
Do you want to smile and say hi?
Hi. That's for you, Karen.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That looked delicious.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, very pretty. Should get
Looks
pictures of
delicious.
these.
Looks delicious and
Is that from Norm?
yummy.
Yep. Yeah, I should get pictures. I've been trying to take more pictures for the marketing company to have a little more to show.
Thank you.
That can be exhausting too, but it's nice to have the pictures and stuff.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Anything else right now?
Ketchup? You want ketchup?
I'm good.
Ketchup?
It's right here for
Thank
you.
you.
Oh,
Enjoy.
Thank you.
look at her bringing the ketchup and everything.
Yeah, she's got everything. So how many waitresses do you have?
So 2 essentially, Linda and Leanne, and you know, Shelby subs sometimes, Donna subs sometimes, but by and large it's Linda or Leanne.
Yeah.
Mondays we don't have a waitress because it tends to be a slower day, so the cook and Wayne kind of take care of waiting on the people that come in, and if it gets steadier, we might bring somebody in. But
What? I know a lot of working crew call in for lunch and stuff, and they're in a hurry. What's the best time to call in your lunch order?
you know, any time really works. I would say, you know, maybe high noon isn't the best time, but we're really busy through breakfast, and lunch is steady, but not usually slamming, except for maybe Sundays. But pretty much anytime. You might avoid high noon, but other than that, anytime. We do quite a bit of breakfast takeout too. Sometimes a highway crew or some of those guys will come in and get breakfast.
Is breakfast served all day?
Yes, till 2. Yep.
Till 2?
Yep.
That's always a nice thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hugely popular. People love breakfast. Is probably my favorite meal to go out to eat for too. I like going out for breakfast.
The
Do you
Yeah.
I like
Sir.
omelette.
Yeah.
do you serve like steaks and stuff at night?
Sometimes off the special board. We started creating the pub special board mainly for the league bowlers because the pub menu is not as big as the cafe menu, and it just gets old after a while when you're here once a week, or some of these guys bowl 2 or 3 times a week. Like if they're looking to eat too, it can get boring. So we started doing specials, and on the specials, you'll see things like right now there's spaghetti and meatballs, poutine. We usually have a specialty pizza, chicken bacon ranch right now, but that's where you might see steak tips or sirloin. Normal often do like steak tip salad at lunchtime, steak and eggs, some of that. But we don't have the steak. I mean, we're really, we have a pretty core menu, and we're not trying to do like Clint over at the Ford. If you want a really nice sit down dinner to celebrate something, that's where you got to go, right? You want to, but if you're just hungry and you don't feel like cooking, you can get a lot of great food here at night, but you're not going to get waited on, or but the specials is where you'll see some of that kind of other stuff.
And do you have any questions?
So for the karaoke, I know we talked a little bit about it. Do you have to make like a reservation to come for that, or
No, you just show
just
up.
come in?
Yep. He used to set up down here. Now he sets up down towards the end there by the back exit door. Just kind of. Sometimes it was a little awkward. People would come in and like the person singing right here. You're trying to walk through them,
Yeah.
So he sets up down there. But yeah, no, you just show up. You can come at 7. You can come at 10. You can come whenever.
And who is he?
DJ Dave. He's from Concord, New Hampshire.
Okay.
He also does the karaoke at Babes.
Okay.
And they do the first Friday of the month. So that's why we did the third, was so in the area you can kind of get to karaoke every other week, if you wanted to.
Don't you have a karaoke business?
I did. It's one of those other things that I kind of gave up because my equipment got older, and I just didn't trust it, and I didn't really do enough to warrant going out and buying all new equipment. We do a fair bit of catering, or have in the past. And so it was nice to be able to offer that if we were catering a wedding. Like, we could do the food, we could do the bar, and we could do the DJ side of it. But it's, and again, another one of those things. Once I started getting really busy with the pro shop, some things just had to go, and that was one of them.
You mentioned pro shop. What's that?
So that's all the bowling balls and shoes and bags, all of the equipment that a bowler would need.
And you drill the balls yourself. I know
I
we did that on our very first podcast with you.
That's right.
That was really pretty cool to see you actually drill a ball, which was really neat.
It's pretty neat. People like to watch generally. They'll be watching and then they'll be like, "Do you want me to not watch?" No, it's fine. Like, it's pretty cool to watch, really. So it makes sense.
Everyone?
Good.
Good, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Very good, thank you.
Thanks, Linda. Yeah, but I get a lot of customers. I mean, really up to St. Albans, Enosburg, certainly Burlington, Barry, because the lanes in Barry and the lanes in Colchester don't have pro shops and don't really care to. So there's really just a few choices. There's myself and Scott up in St. Jay at Gold Crown Lanes. He does a lot of drilling. And then, outside of that, Rutland, of course. That's kind of the other end of the state,
How many bowling alleys does Vermont have?
Geez, okay, you've got Brattleboro, Claremont is New Hampshire, really, but kind of filled the void when Springfield closed, so you can kind of count them. Us, St. J,
White River.
Twin City. No, White River doesn't have one anymore. Enosburg, Lowell, Colchester. I don't know if
Windsor.
I said Colchester. Who?
Windsor.
No, Windsor doesn't have a bowling alley.
I thought Springfield.
They don't anymore. That
They
closed
don't?
a couple years ago. Yeah.
When did they close?
It's probably been 3 or 4 years, something like that. Maybe 5.
Oh,
But that was in the case of, they raised the rent because they really wanted to do something different with
they had a nice
Space.
the space.
They-
You have to own your space. That's the
Yeah.
same thing happened at Champlain Lanes. Like, you have to own your space.
They had a nice
or you
little
can
bowling
run into
alley.
that. Yeah, they had a great little bowling
Yeah.
alley. I mean, it's never good for business when one closes ever.
No.
But I would say we have less than 10. Bennington has closed. There's so many that have closed. It's awful. But I think this is our 20th year.
Wow.
We opened, I think, January of 2006. So we're in our 20th year. We'll be 20 years next January.
20 years here or
Here.
down there too?
No, here. Oh gosh, down there. I mean, I think Randolph's had a bowling alley since
It would have been years.
With Pinker and stuff.
60s or
Mm-hmm.
something like that, 50s or 60s, and for a long time. And remember, there used to be 2 in Barrie. Remember that? Where
No.
Wedgwood was
Right up on the hill.
off the airport road. Yeah, there was one there. We've lost so many.
Yeah, I used to bowl in a league at the old bowling alley when I was in high school.
Nice.
And then when I married Brendan's dad, we bowled in a league once a week.
Yeah.
And it seems like it.
Mixed
Yeah.
couples league. Is that what you bowled in Sunday night?
Yeah. And it was just, it was nice. It was nice to get out. And we had a new baby, so we could bring the baby with us.
Right.
And it was just a fun time. It seems like, to me, it seems like families get so busy these days and don't do a lot of the family things that they used to do back when I was a teenager.
Yeah. Well, we do a youth adult league in the summer. It doesn't start till middle of June, about the time school gets out. And so it's pretty short. I think it's done by, mid-August. But it's 2 kids and 2 adults make up a team. And we've done it for a long time. And we've had decent participation. But last year we were full. We had 10 teams. And I think this year we're already up to 8 teams, I think, with a little bit of time to go here. But a lot of those teams are families.
That's nice.
Mom, dad, 2 kids. So it's been pretty
nice.
cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely nice.
I wish I was on that league.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
Yeah.
It was a fun one.
I had a question for you, Karen. So, I have a couple balls that need to be drilled, but I don't think I'm gonna drill them because I don't know if it's a possible thing, but I wanted to have them for a prize for whoever wins like the tournament. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
It's like a race car ball.
Yeah.
It hasn't been drilled.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
He'd like
And
to donate it, I think is what he's trying to get.
yeah,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah. It's in like a race car case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any idea what it weighs?
Maybe like 12 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk more about that. That'd
Yeah.
be cool. We could definitely do something like
Brendan, whenever we go yard sailing, he's beelines to the bowling balls. And I'm like, you have 6 at home. You don't need any more.
Remind you of you, Karen.
that. Yeah. I like that. I like that, Brendan.
Yeah,
that's
Brendan really likes to bowl, and he comes in and bowls. I don't know, probably once a month now,
Yeah.
right now, but
Nice.
he's trying to get past his anxiety, and he's getting a little bit better. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
well,
try
we
to
could
work.
talk about times that tend to be really quiet too.
Mhm.
Like, are you scared of overloads? No, I'm talking to B.
Oh,
What do you mean by overload?
like too many people.
Sensory overload.
Yeah,
It's like too many people and like really loud music. and like I don't really.
Yeah, I think that you're having that overload,
Yeah.
and those aren't fun.
No.
Yeah, it's hard for him too because when he comes to do Special Olympics, he really wants to bowl, but then everybody hasn't seen him for so long, so they're like, "Hi, Brendan! Hi, Brendan! Hi, Brendan! Hi, Brendan! Hi, Brendan!" And he's like, deer in the headlights, kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
And we have just been experiencing so much growth in Special Olympics
that's awesome.
participation. Yeah, it's
That's
great.
so awesome.
But it just means it's even busier.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
Well, the last time I did special mix, I think was I don't know if am I allowed to say his name? Am I?
Just say a person.
Justin. He was he was he came this way like Brendan, can I have a hug? You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to say, not feeling happy right now, or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, you can think of little things to say, but sometimes it's even hard to say that. You know.
Yeah.
And that's that is one of the challenges of Special Olympics is there are a mix of so many different people with different likes
Different
and
abilities.
dislikes and abilities and what they can and can't deal with.
Yeah.
So it can be tough for sure.
Yeah, and we've been working on a lot of just you really need to be assertive in what you say.
Yeah.
And say what you mean.
Right.
Don't skirt around the subject. And just kind of be who you are, but just say it.
Right.
You know.
And I mean, it's about all different abilities coming together. So we could certainly meet up beforehand and kind of these are Brendan's wishes and kind of help make that happen. Brendan doesn't want a million hugs, or he likes you guys all very much, but too much sensory. So we could kind of help build a little gate there to
Mhm.
keep
A little
that from
safety
happening
net.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, Karen, this salad is amazing.
Good. I'm so
My
It is so
tenders
amazing.
were amazing.
You got tenders, right? I don't see any there. They're gone.
I never got them.
How about you, B?
Good.
And Brendan sometimes has a hard time eating in front of people, so I'm surprised that he's even eating in front of anybody.
Oh,
So.
well.
Yeah. I mean the fries first because I ate the small things first.
That makes sense.
Then I eat
How are your fries? Are they good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
super good.
put a little salt on them.
Put a little salt on them.
Yeah.
I like fries with a little salt myself.
Yeah, I like a good fry.
Me too.
Yeah, the salad was amazing.
So we're at Prince Street Cafe and at 12 Prince Street in Randolph, Vermont. Excuse me.
I should have probably not had this on. That's okay. Everybody
okay.
knows me, so.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, that's great. I think this is amazing that you've added and implemented some things that are going to save some families some money in the long run, because that's what it's all about, is getting them here so that you can get them into bowling and do the other things that they want to do, but also have a meal, which is amazing.
Right.
And
Definitely.
we all know that when we order a big meal and then our kids are expected to eat that meal, it's kind of hard when there's so much of it,
Right.
So it's nice to have a kids meal. I always appreciated that when my kids were little, because when you're going out with 5 kids, and that was
You just
20
pray
years
the Red
ago.
Sox win, so you go to
Right.
99.
Right, exactly.
Do you have any family meals?
We don't have anything that's served family style. No. I guess mainly because that does happen sometimes in here and maybe on the weekends, but weekday lunches typically aren't families. It's people that are working or whatever. And, most weeknights are not typically families. It's more whatever, if it's guys league or ladies league or whatever it is. But that's something worth thinking about for sure. I think we used to in the food trailer. We used to have 4 burgers and 8 fries and 4 hot dogs, or whatever, some kind of packages.
Right.
But,
Thank you.
you're welcome. But we haven't here, I don't think. No.
Well, that's great. Karen, is there anything else you'd like to add? No, I keep saying it as soon as you put your food in your mouth.
I don't think. I mean, we were talking about kids bowl free and like what's in it for us kind of thing. You know, sometimes they will also, maybe a parent will have the kid's birthday party here that year because they liked coming in. You know, there's a lot of ways that it kind of comes back to us, but all the common denominator is just growing a love of the sport. And it comes back in lots of different ways. And sometimes maybe it's, you know, when they join a adult league or whatever. But as long as you can keep the love of the sport going, I think that's good for everybody.
Yeah,
Um,
that's great. Well, thank you for letting us
Thank
come
you.
and have lunch.
Absolutely.
And
Thanks for dining
it
with
was
me.
a pleasure, and I'm glad that things are looking up and that things are going really smooth
Thank
for the most
Thank
part.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
We're having
you.
fun. We always have fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.